Hello everyone, welcome back to the NovaFact World channel. Tonight, we're looking up at something that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years, the moon. In this video, we're going to explore some of the most shocking, mysterious, and scary facts about the moon that many people don't know. The moon has been watching Earth for billions of years. Every night, it rises silently in the sky, glowing softly above oceans, mountains, and cities. To most people, it looks calm and peaceful. But the truth is far more mysterious, and sometimes even terrifying. Scientists have studied the moon for decades, yet many of its secrets remain unexplained. Strange sounds recorded by astronauts, mysterious moonquakes, and shadows that move in ways scientists can't fully explain. Some researchers even say the moon behaves in ways that make it seem almost alive. In this video, we'll explore some of the most chilling and fascinating facts about Earth's closest neighbor. Facts that might change the way you look at the moon forever. Let's begin. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth. Right now, the moon looks like a permanent companion in our sky, but it's actually slowly drifting away from Earth. Every year, the moon moves about 3.8 centimeters farther away from our planet. That might sound small, but over millions of years, it becomes enormous. Scientists discovered this by using mirrors left on the moon during the Apollo missions. By bouncing lasers off these mirrors, researchers can measure the exact distance between Earth and the moon. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the moon was much closer to Earth. When dinosaurs walked the planet, the moon appeared much larger in the sky. And in the distant future, it will become smaller and smaller until Earth's nights look completely different. Some scientists even predict that eventually Earth may lose the moon entirely. And if that happens, the consequences for our planet could be catastrophic. The moon causes massive forces on Earth. The moon might look small in the sky, but its gravity has a powerful effect on Earth. It controls the tides of the oceans. Every single day, billions of tons of ocean water move because of the moon's gravitational pull. Without the moon, the oceans would behave completely differently. Some scientists believe life on Earth might not even exist without these tidal movements. But tides are only part of the story. The moon also helps stabilize Earth's axis of rotation. Without it, our planet could wobble wildly over time. Imagine Earth suddenly tilting dramatically. Entire climates could change. Deserts might become forests. Frozen regions could become tropical. In other words, the moon acts like a cosmic stabilizer for our planet. Without it, Earth might become a chaotic and dangerous place. The moon has moonquakes. Most people know about earthquakes, but the moon has its own version called moonquakes. During the Apollo missions, astronauts placed seismometers on the moon's surface to detect vibrations. The results shocked scientists. The moon experiences several different types of quakes: deep moonquakes, thermal moonquakes, meteorite impacts, shallow moonquakes. The most terrifying type is shallow moonquakes. These can reach magnitudes of 5.5 on the Richter scale and can last for over 10 minutes. On Earth, earthquakes usually stop within seconds or minutes. But the moon doesn't have water or tectonic plates to absorb energy. That means the vibrations can continue for a long time. If a future lunar base experiences one of these moonquakes, the shaking could be extremely dangerous. The moon rings like a bell. One of the strangest discoveries came during the Apollo missions. When astronauts crashed spacecraft parts into the moon intentionally, they expected normal seismic vibrations. But what happened next surprised everyone. The moon rang like a bell. Instead of stopping quickly, the vibrations continued for nearly an hour. Some scientists described it as similar to striking a giant hollow object. This led to a controversial theory. A few researchers speculated that parts of the moon might be less solid than expected, or even contain large internal cavities. Of course, most scientists believe the effect is caused by the moon's extremely dry and rigid structure, but the idea that the moon can ring like a giant bell remains one of the strangest observations in lunar science. The far side of the moon was hidden for billions of years. For most of human history, nobody had ever seen the far side of the moon. The moon is tidally locked with Earth. That means the same side always faces our planet. The other side remained completely unknown until 1959, when a Soviet spacecraft finally photographed it. What scientists saw was surprising. The far side looks very different from the side we see every night. It has far more craters, thicker crust, fewer large lava plains. In other words, it's rougher, darker, and more chaotic. Even today, many lunar mysteries are hidden on that distant side. And because radio signals from Earth cannot reach there directly, future missions will need special relay satellites to communicate. The moon was born from a planetary collision. One of the most dramatic theories about the moon's origin is called the giant impact hypothesis. According to this idea, about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object slammed into the early Earth. The collision was unimaginably violent. Rock and molten material blasted into space, forming a ring of debris around Earth. Over time, that debris slowly came together and formed the moon. In other words, the moon may literally be made from pieces of Earth. Some lunar rocks even have chemical compositions extremely similar to rocks found on our planet. If this theory is correct, then the moon is not just Earth's neighbor. It's actually a cosmic fragment of Earth itself. The moon has extremely dangerous temperature swings. The moon has almost no atmosphere. Because of this, temperatures there change in extreme ways. During lunar daytime, temperatures can reach plus 127 degrees Celsius, 260 degrees Fahrenheit. But during the night, they can drop to minus 173 degrees Celsius, minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a temperature swing of over 300 degrees. Any human settlement on the moon would need advanced technology to survive these extreme conditions. Without protection, a human could freeze or overheat very quickly. There are mysterious lights seen on the moon. For centuries, astronomers have reported strange flashes and glowing lights on the moon's surface. These events are known as transient lunar phenomena. Observers have seen brief flashes, glowing patches, moving lights. Some scientists believe these are caused by gas escaping from beneath the moon's surface. Others think meteorite impacts could create sudden flashes. But not all reports have been fully explained. Even modern telescopes occasionally detect unusual lunar light events, which means the moon might still be more active than we once believed. The moon is covered in dangerous dust. The surface of the moon is covered in a fine powder called lunar regolith. But this dust is very different from dust on Earth. Because there is no wind or water on the moon, the particles remain sharp and jagged. During the Apollo missions, astronauts noticed that the dust stuck to everything: spacesuits, equipment, cameras, even inside the spacecraft. The dust also smelled strange, like burnt gunpowder, according to astronauts. Scientists worry that long-term exposure to lunar dust could be harmful to human lungs. Future lunar explorers will need special protection from this dangerous powder. The moon might contain hidden lava tubes. Billions of years ago, the moon had active volcanoes. When lava flowed across the surface, tunnels sometimes formed beneath the hardened rock. These tunnels are called lava tubes. On Earth, lava tubes exist in places like Hawaii, but on the moon, they could be enormous. Some scientists believe lunar lava tubes could be hundreds of meters wide and kilometers long. That's big enough to fit entire cities inside. Future lunar bases might actually be built inside these tunnels to protect astronauts from radiation, meteorites, extreme temperatures. But many of these underground structures remain unexplored, and nobody knows exactly what lies deep inside them. Even though humans first walked on the moon more than 50 years ago, many mysteries from those missions still puzzle scientists today. Some astronauts returned to Earth with stories that sounded almost unbelievable. Strange sounds, strange lights, and things that didn't behave the way scientists expected. Let's continue exploring the darker side of the moon. Astronauts heard strange music on the moon. One of the most mysterious events happened during the Apollo 10 mission in 1969. As the spacecraft passed over the far side of the moon, astronauts suddenly heard something strange through their radio headsets. It sounded like music, not random static, not interference. Actual tones that sounded like a strange, whistling melody. The astronauts were confused. One of them even asked, "Did you hear that? That music?" Because they were on the far side of the moon, they had no radio contact with Earth at that moment. The strange sound continued for about an hour. Later, NASA explained that the sound was probably caused by radio interference between spacecraft electronics. But the recording still sounds eerie. Many people who listen to it say the sound feels almost otherworldly. The moon is constantly bombarded by space rocks. Earth has a thick atmosphere that protects us from many meteors. The moon does not. Every day, tiny meteoroids crash into its surface at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour. Even small rocks can create explosions because of their enormous speed. Scientists estimate that the moon gets hit by thousands of small impacts every year. Sometimes these impacts are powerful enough to produce bright flashes of light visible from Earth through telescopes. That means the moon's surface is constantly being reshaped by cosmic collisions. And if astronauts were on the surface during one of these impacts, it could be extremely dangerous. The moon has massive impact craters. Some craters on the moon are truly gigantic. One of the largest is called the South Pole Aitken Basin. It's about 2,500 kilometers wide. That's almost the size of the entire United States. This crater was created by an asteroid impact billions of years ago. The collision was so powerful that it may have blasted material from deep inside the moon all the way to the surface. Scientists are still studying this region today because it might reveal secrets about the moon's internal structure. But the scale of that ancient impact shows something terrifying. The moon has experienced catastrophic collisions in the past, and objects that hit the moon can also hit Earth. The moon's gravity can affect human behavior. For centuries, people have believed that the full moon affects human behavior. In fact, the word lunatic comes from the Latin word luna, meaning moon. Some ancient cultures believed that full moons caused madness. Modern science has tried to study this idea. Some research suggests that during full moons, sleep quality can decrease. Some animals behave differently. Tides become stronger. However, scientists still debate whether the moon truly affects human psychology. Even today, hospitals and police departments sometimes report busier nights during full moons. Coincidence? Or something deeper connected to our ancient relationship with the moon? The mystery remains. There is water hidden on the moon. For a long time, scientists believed the moon was completely dry. But recent discoveries changed everything. In the dark craters near the moon's poles, scientists found frozen water ice. These craters never receive sunlight. That means temperatures stay incredibly cold, allowing ice to survive for billions of years. This discovery is extremely important. Water can be used for drinking, growing food, producing oxygen, making rocket fuel. Future lunar bases may rely on this hidden water to survive, but exploring these dark craters will be extremely difficult. Some areas have been in permanent darkness for billions of years. Nobody has ever seen what lies inside them. The moon's shadow once terrified ancient civilizations. Before modern science, lunar eclipses were considered terrifying events. A lunar eclipse happens when Earth moves between the sun and the moon. Earth's shadow slowly covers the moon, turning it deep red. This is why it's often called a blood moon. Ancient civilizations believed these events were signs of disaster. Some cultures thought a giant creature was devouring the moon. Others believed it was a warning from the gods. Today we understand the science behind eclipses, but seeing the moon turn blood red in the sky can still feel eerie. The moon might have a molten core. For a long time, scientists thought the moon was completely cold inside, but new data from lunar missions suggests something surprising. The moon may still have a partially molten core. This means deep beneath the surface, there could still be liquid metal slowly moving. This movement may even create weak magnetic fields. Compared to Earth's massive molten core, the moon's is small. But the idea that the moon still has heat and activity deep inside makes it more mysterious than we once thought. The moon is slowly slowing Earth's rotation. Here's something fascinating and slightly scary. The moon is gradually slowing down Earth's rotation. Billions of years ago, a day on Earth lasted only about 6 hours. But the moon's gravitational pull creates tidal friction in Earth's oceans. This friction slowly reduces Earth's spin. As a result, days on Earth are getting longer over time. Right now, the change is tiny, about 1.7 milliseconds per century. But over millions of years, the difference becomes enormous. Without the moon, Earth's time itself would be very different. Some scientists believe the moon is unusually large compared to its planet. The moon is extremely large. Most moons in the solar system are tiny compared to their planets, but Earth's moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth. That makes it one of the largest moons relative to its planet in the entire solar system. Because of this, some scientists say the Earth-Moon system behaves almost like a double-planet system. This unusual size relationship is one reason why the moon has such a strong influence on Earth. Without the moon, Earth might become chaotic. This might be the most frightening possibility of all. If the moon suddenly disappeared, Earth would change dramatically. Without the moon, ocean tides would weaken. Earth's axis could become unstable. Climate patterns could change drastically. Some simulations suggest Earth's tilt could swing wildly between 0 and 85 degrees over millions of years. That would mean extreme climate shifts, ice ages, massive storms, and unpredictable seasons. In many ways, the moon acts as a cosmic guardian, quietly stabilizing our world. And yet, even after decades of exploration, the moon still hides many secrets. Scientists are planning new missions to return humans to the moon in the coming years. Programs like NASA's Artemis missions aim to build permanent bases there. But as we return to the moon, we may discover things we never expected. Because the moon has been there for 4.5 billion years, silently orbiting Earth, watching, waiting, and perhaps still hiding mysteries we have yet to uncover. Even after all the missions and decades of research, the moon remains one of the most mysterious objects in our sky. The more scientists study it, the more strange discoveries appear. Some of these discoveries are fascinating, others are deeply unsettling. Let's continue exploring the darker secrets of the moon. The moon has no sound. Imagine standing on the moon. You look around and see endless gray dust stretching across the horizon. The sky above you is completely black, even during the daytime. Now imagine a meteor crashing nearby. On Earth, you would hear a massive explosion, but on the moon, you would hear nothing. Because the moon has almost no atmosphere, sound cannot travel through the air. This means the lunar surface is completely silent. Astronauts during the Apollo missions described the moon as eerie and unnaturally quiet. The only sounds they could hear were inside their spacesuits, their breathing, and the sound of their own heartbeats. A completely silent world can feel far more unsettling than a noisy one. The moon is covered with billions of craters. When you look at the moon from Earth, you can see dark patches and lighter areas. But up close, the surface is covered with countless craters. Scientists estimate there are billions of impact craters across the moon. Some are tiny, only a few centimeters wide. Others are enormous, hundreds of kilometers across. Unlike Earth, the moon has no weather, wind, or water to erase these marks. That means many craters are billions of years old. They are scars from the violent early days of the solar system. Each crater is a reminder of how dangerous space can be. The moon has ghost craters. Some craters on the moon look strange. Instead of deep holes, they appear as faint circular outlines. These are called ghost craters. Long ago, lava flows covered these craters, filling them with molten rock. Over time, the lava hardened, leaving only the faint shapes of the buried craters beneath the surface. These ghostly circles look like ancient scars slowly fading away. They are evidence that the moon was once far more geologically active than it is today. The moon's gravity is much weaker than Earth's. Gravity on the moon is only about 1/6 of Earth's gravity. That means if you weigh 60 kilograms on Earth, you would weigh only 10 kilograms on the moon. Astronauts could jump much higher and move in slow, bouncing motions. While this might look fun, it also creates serious challenges. Low gravity causes problems for the human body. Over long periods, astronauts can experience muscle loss, bone density reduction, balance problems. If humans ever build long-term colonies on the moon, scientists will need to find ways to protect the human body from these effects. The moon has dangerous radiation. Earth is protected by a powerful magnetic field and thick atmosphere. These protect us from harmful radiation coming from space. The moon has neither. This means astronauts on the moon are exposed to solar radiation, cosmic rays, high-energy particles. Over time, this radiation can damage human cells and increase the risk of cancer. Future lunar bases may need to be built underground or covered with thick layers of lunar soil to protect astronauts. Without protection, staying on the moon for long periods would be extremely dangerous. The moon may have caused ancient mass extinctions. Some scientists believe the moon may have indirectly influenced events that caused mass extinctions on Earth. Because the moon stabilizes Earth's tilt, it plays a role in controlling long-term climate stability. If the moon had not formed after the giant impact billions of years ago, Earth's axis might have shifted wildly over time. This could have caused extreme climate swings that might have made life far more difficult to evolve. In a strange way, the moon may have both protected life on Earth and shaped the conditions that allowed it to grow. The moon's surface is extremely old. Parts of the moon's surface are more than 4 billion years old. That's older than most surfaces on Earth. On our planet, erosion constantly changes the landscape. Mountains rise and crumble. Oceans reshape coastlines. But the moon has no wind or water to erase its past. This makes the moon like a time capsule of the early solar system. Studying lunar rocks helps scientists understand what happened during the violent formation of planets. The moon might contain rare resources. Scientists believe the moon may contain valuable materials. One of the most famous is helium-3. Helium-3 is extremely rare on Earth, but may exist in larger amounts on the moon's surface. Some scientists believe it could be used as fuel for future nuclear fusion energy. If fusion technology becomes practical, helium-3 from the moon could become incredibly valuable. This possibility is one reason many countries are planning future missions to the moon. In the future, the moon might even become a center for space mining. The moon once had volcanoes. Today the moon looks cold and lifeless, but billions of years ago, it was a very different world. Huge volcanic eruptions once covered large parts of the moon with molten lava. These lava flows created the dark regions we see from Earth, called lunar maria. These giant plains can stretch hundreds of kilometers. Although lunar volcanoes are now inactive, their ancient flows still shape the moon's appearance today. The moon might help humans explore the solar system. Despite all its dangers, the moon may become humanity's first step toward deep space exploration. Because the moon's gravity is much weaker than Earth's, launching spacecraft from the moon requires far less energy. Future missions may use lunar bases to launch spacecraft to Mars, asteroids, deep space destinations. In other words, the moon might become the gateway to the rest of the solar system.
But before that happens, scientists still have many mysteries to solve, because even today, the moon continues to surprise us. The moon may look calm in the night sky, but beneath its silent surface lie ancient impacts, hidden ice, dangerous radiation, and mysteries scientists still cannot fully explain.